Hey, welcome to the Daily Space Weather, folks. We're running a little bit late today. We're going to try to truncate the section a little bit. It's been a long night because of criminal charges that may get filed. We'll consider it. We won't tell you much about it, though, as it could affect police investigations. Let's just say I didn't get the sleep that I wanted, and those who are responsible will be held harshly responsible. Did you watch our video yesterday called Special Holiday Cosmology Segment Drinking Game? Don't touch your face! Or you look at the sun and you don't touch your face. Did you know that UV radiation kills you know what? Anyway, there are antics. Replaced my first pandemic. And it is a drinking game. And that's not to encourage people to consume alcoholic beverages, of course. Let's look at an image of the local yellow dwarf here in 193 angstroms. And there you have it. Not a lot of features to get excited about. A couple active regions around here. No sunspots. And we're going to skip the Soho movies. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube or on BitChute, please leave a comment, press like, press subscribe, etc. We appreciate your comments. Tell your foes, tell your friends, tell the neutrals, so that everybody knows. My latest subscription, and shout out to Oppenheimer Ranch Project, is Mario Build Reps. And he's talking about things like catastrophe cycles, so perhaps check that out, as I will later today. And if you haven't subscribed yet on BitChute, thanks to our new subscribers, by the way, please do so, as we will have more and more exclusive content coming up there in the coming days, weeks, months, and years. And also, you may want to follow us on Instagram. You may see some stuff that you don't see otherwise, such as this post here about how we made a video about hydroxychloroquine on March 19th, which YouTube promptly demonetized. Trust us, folks. It's totally not propaganda. It's totally not censorship over there at YouTube. Pardon the sarcasm. Google is not a verb. A Google is a scam. And I believe it's costing actual lives now. Please leave a comment if you have an opinion on this. And by the way, this convo was about Colin Campbell. Did you know I'm a published poet? All right, I don't want to brag. I do want to brag a little bit, but I will try to refrain. Here is the Stereo A Core 2 space weather beacon. That's located out here. That's Stereo A. It trails the Earth in its orbit around the Sun. And we're seeing Mercury travel in between that region there, as well as a coronal mass ejection. And a second one might be in order here. I think there is a second coronal mass ejection about to happen, so keep an eye on that throughout the day. And when I say ion, the pun is intentional. Next, we're at helioviewer.org, and we're going to look at 171 angstroms versus the fields. And there you see those bright regions, which again, they're not sunspots. And we see 0 sunspots. And let's also take a look at the local yellow dwarf. How about 335 angstroms for once? There's that view. And I like the soothing blue color, as it lowers my urge to kill and destroy. Don't be part of the catastrophe cycle. Try not to be a COVIDIOT. And don't forget to try to understand the physics of that. And it's Monday the 13th. Do you know where your KP index is? Well, it's at 1 currently. And the solar radio flux, the 10.7 centimeter variety, is at 71. Here's where stuff is in the solar system. And there's where stuff will be in a week. And you can see the location of Stereo A as it elicits this straight line. So Stereo A has to be right there, as we just saw Mercury pass between it and the Sun. Next, we're looking at a sky chart here, as I like to know what's going on above my head. And we see the convergence there. We see the Moon, as well as Mars, Saturn, and Jupiter. X-ray flux is flatlined. No real surprise there, as we see no activity, and obviously no significant proton events going on right now. That would be real news, and we would have reported on it long ago. Next, looking at the real-time solar wind, we see a phi angle around 330 degrees. BT-BZ is uneventful and converging on the 0 line there, at least as far as the BZ goes. Possibly an indication the North Polar Field is gaining a little strength, and we're pulling for you, North Solar Polar Field. Keep up the good work. Next, looking at the density, we see about 4.1 protons per cubic centimeter. And the speed looks like it peaked out in that coronal hole wind stream there right when we did our video yesterday at about 460 kilometers a second. Now it's down to about 400 kilometers, 410, not the shotgun. And it's the kilometers per second. There's the data from ACE, and it's looking corroborative now, although I think there might be something wrong with the particle detector there. No worries about it. Let's look at the magnetosphere. There is the pressure. And before we go on, I'm going to spike pile drive something, but here's 4 hours of data. And don't make me spike pile drive you. I will spike pile drive. That's it. Before we look at the magnetosphere movies at the ground level, I'm going to have to step into the chat here and eradicate something. Later. All right. That's better. Bye-bye. I won't be missing you, or the constant unnecessary tracking of you, since you're not scary. Especially now that you're not over my head anymore. Cheers. Anyway, here are the ground magnetic perturbations during this geomagnetic polar excursion. And we see the main perturbations over the North Magnetic Pole and the South Magnetic Pole, not the Siberian one, the Canadian North Pole. What I'm saying is the Canadian North Pole is where the main perturbations are happening, not the Siberian one. And if it's news to you that we have two North Poles, I don't know what to tell you, but it's been well known for quite a while. Next, looking at the GOES magnetometer there, and remembering that it's time to touch my face, which I'm going to do as much as I want, whenever I want, whether in public or I'm in private. Because if you see me touching my face, it probably means that my hands are clean. I know, scary, right? Oh my gosh, I went into public and I saw somebody touch his face. And so now I'm seeking psychological counseling for post-traumatic stress because I saw a guy touch his face. We're sorry if we've caused any post-traumatic stress, folks. Let's move on to the Gong 2 data. And there's the latest Gong 2 data, and it's pretty uneventful, as the current sheet is entirely charged up by the South Pole, and there's not a lot to report on, except the GOES magnetometer is going to continue to look spiky, and we're going to see very low readings, especially as this dense region of plasma rotates into the Earth-facing region, and there will be a slight increase of the probability of a coronal mass ejection in our direction during that period. We won't get into other forecasting at this time, because it could take a while. Anyway, there's a line of sight field plot. Nothing extraordinary happening there. As you see, sunspot 2759 decay into a Pelagian set in the west. Next, looking at the relativistic electrons, they're looking quite low. So expect your GPSs to work pretty well today, even around noontime. Should have very low levels of GPS errors and satellite drag as a result of that. And next, we'll look at the ionosphere as we do daily. And there's a reason why we look at the same tabs as far as our data goes every day. It's because if you immerse yourself in the data, it may become evident the actual relationships between the phenomenon and the data. See what I mean? So, immerse yourself in the data, folks. That's the reason I would make the daily space weather videos. And again, we will be back to making cosmology segments soon. But until then, we're kind of in a limited mode here because we're being overworked and you could say underpaid. So we're advancing the pressure maps here on windy.com till about tomorrow at noon my time. There's 1 p.m. my time on the GFS forecast. Windy.com has a great mobile app also, by the way. And let's see what's going on. We see a bit of an earthquake uptick once again, I think. Let's check the list. Mariana Islands. 4.6 magnitude quake at nearly 200 kilometers depth. And just scrolling here, we got more quakes in Idaho for sure. There's a 4.1 at depth in Indonesia also, west of the last one. There's one at the northern Mariana Islands. It's at nearly 300 kilometers and a 4.2 magnitude. That would be nearly a 6 if it happened at the surface. Here's a shallow quake, and when I say shallow, I mean a kilometer above sea level. So that quake there happening about 3,000 feet, probably underneath the Mauna Loa caldera. It's a -1 kilometer depth quake. So it's magmatic motion, folks. And if you weren't aware, we've had at least one stratospheric volcanic injection courtesy of Anak Krakatau in the past 3 days. Here's another deep quake in southern Alaska. We see lots of those, but not of large size. And that one just came in there. It's a 3.5 at Idaho. Next, the volcano rundown includes Klutchevskoye, 30,000 foot plume there as it continues to uptick. Karimsky now back on the list, 7,000 foot plume there. Kuchina-Rabujima, flight level 3,000. Mount Ibu, flight level 6,000. Krakatau, still erupting, exploding, 10,000 foot plume there. Semaru exploding, flight level 14,000. Dakono, flight level 7,000. Kerinci, flight level 15,000. Popocatépetl, flight level 21,000. Fuego, flight dissipated. Sangay, flight level 20,000. Sabancaya, flight level 24,000. And Nevados de Chilean, flight level 16,000. Do not pole vault. Part of the reason we study cosmology is because of the implications that the most cutting-edge solar science has to offer, as it requires cosmology to be rewritten, considering the implications of the chemical reactions occurring on the surface of the sun, and the implications on how those are able to stay where they are. If you want to read about various subjects, such as cosmology, check out smAsho.com/forum. There's a whole cosmology thread there, including stuff about Comet Atlas, Cygnus X3, the most, things like the fastest neutron star, which is this one, which is traveling at about 241,000 miles per hour, if you're wondering. Neutron star RxJ185635-3754, a catchy name. Maybe we'll make a t-shirt. As well as lots of information in the Solar Heliophysics Forum about liquid metallic hydrogen as a solar building block. And no. So anyway, check out smashamash.org. Click our links. Please consider supporting the work, as we've got a lot to do, and we're a bit overworked and underpaid. There's also a lengthy section about you-know-what. And so, hey viewers, go update it today. I haven't updated it today. We want to stop covering it. There's also original music you can check out, perhaps, at the SoundCloud page, which is linked, as well as the soundclick.com/GoldenCatProductions. Perhaps have a listen to Settle It. One of the problems that we have with marketing our music, folks, is that we don't fall into a genre. So it's difficult to get people to sort of get on board. I don't know, I guess we're a punk rock label, I guess would be the most accurate, if you have to typecast us into a genre. And when I say us, there's only two of us. Shout out to Dr. Afif. Try returning a call, or a text message, or sending me your new number if you have one. Next, we're looking at the jet streams, which are all over the place. Meridional jet stream flow at its finest. Excuse me, there's the east-western world, and here's the eastern world. And if my voice sounds gruff, I didn't get enough sleep last night. Guess why? Because of COVIDIOTs, which is going to be the word of the year. Please leave a comment if you think COVIDIOTs shall be the word of the year, and leave another comment, a second one, if you think that this is the largest propaganda media hoax ever on Earth, ever visited onto mankind. Here's the water vapor maps for Africa and Europe. Looks like a powerful low there off of the coast of I don't know what that is. Spain. Yeah, the coast of Spain. Next we'll look at the Far East and Oceania. And there is the water vapor map for that. Here's a lightning map for the US. Actually, there's the world. And we're getting all the lightning right now, folks. Don't be jealous. It can cause a lot of damage. Hey, Augusta, you are surrounded by lightning cells. Augusta, Georgia. There's thunder rolling in. If you haven't checked it out, lightningmaps.org is a good time. And here's the rain that's going to hit me all day with severe thunderstorms as I drive around to try to protect your food supply with lab safety testing. It's not me safety testing, it's me safety endangering. Next, we'll look at the water vapor map. As I don't say a word about how I'm going to quit my day job. Oh, I didn't really say that. Just kidding, folks, just kidding. And I was able to get rid of my Borg implants. I don't know if you saw the "Don't touch my face, drink if I touch my face" video. And let's zoom in on this area here over the Florida Panhandle, where rapid cloud nucleation is happening. Since the atmosphere is electric, but stars fundamentally aren't. Yes, I know, it's blasphemy, right? Oh my gosh, clutch the pearls, clutch the pearls. And there you see a bunch of dry air over northern Florida. Shout out to Mothra if you watch the content, and we don't think you do. Anybody leaving comments? No, they're not. Thanks, Smash Team, for tuning in. We are out. We've got bonus features, such as a free month of Patreon for everybody. All posts will be public. Tell your friends, tell your foes, so even the least informed idiot knows. Try to talk them out of being a COVIDIOT. Send them to our forums. smAsho.com/forum. We're also on Subscribestar. All the posts there are public for the whole month of April, also as we do fundraising to begin the founding of our science foundation. Here's the local yellow dwarf and intensity gram, and there are no sunspots on there. There's the colorized magnetogram, and we could see some sunspots forming here. Some cycle 25 behavior around the equator. Some cycle 24 behavior around the equator, rather. And some mixed fields down here, nothing to write home about, nothing particularly exciting. Let's check out the 48-hour view here in 94 angstroms. And it is about that time, folks. Enjoy your day, be safe, beware of COVIDiots, as there are many. Keep an eye on those areas, and when I say eye on, the pun's intentional. Stare at the sun, attempt to understand the physics. And since it'll never be now again, welcome to the Neo-Renaissance. May that solar wind be at your back, and that atherosclerosis absent from your arteries.